For
Welcome to the Virtual Ball Boys podcast. My name is Chris, and I am joined once again by my good friend, Matt.
Top 10 Virtual Ball Boys Season 2 intros. Number 10, Chet Avery is too woke for Candyland. Number 9, the sequel to ABBA, Bakugaba. Number 8, physically I am in a Chili's, mentally I am in an Outback Steakhouse. Number 7, we did it, Chris, we outlasted Quibi. Number 6, your princess is in another castle. Number 5, that time I fucked up the Justin Fields joke. Number 4, me asking you if I should scream. Number 3, ah! Number 2, putting lyrics to our theme song. And number 1, Tom Brady is our dad.
How have you been tracking that since last September?
No, I listened to all the intros back like last week and put a list together.
Okay, perfect.
But I've had this idea for about a month.
All right, cool. I was wondering, like, how long has the tracking been going down? I like it though. I like it. No, I can't debate that. You know, it's each intro is its own magical gift. You know, and I appreciate it.
Do you agree with number 1?
Oh, I mean, come on. It's that, or it's the original Virtual Ball Boys theme song to open up season 2.
Oh, of course, yeah. I put that in number 2.
Yeah.
But...
yeah, no, I mean, I think you could choose between the two, but I think for comedic effect, I think the one that hit best was Tom Brady is your dad. I think that was the hardest I've laughed at an intro of all of them. So that's, and I usually laugh at these, so.
Yeah.
It's been a year, folks, of season 2.
2 years since we started this podcast.
2 years, actually 2 years, probably to the day since Team Chaos Productions first went live.
Right. Yeah.
At least by the time that you all see this episode, it'll be close to that. But yeah, it's been a wild journey. We've reached the end of season 2 because next week we are going to be starting season 3. It'll be our week 1 preview. We're going to go hard into the NFL, talk about all of our predictions. Today, when we're recording this, it was cut down day, so the 53 rosters are at least the initial rosters are being finalized. Of course, those will be changed, every fucking second of every day. But, we're very much looking forward to talking NFL and going deep into it again. And we have some news in regards to how we're going to be approaching Virtual Ball Boys Season 3. At least what the weekly schedule will be like through February. And it's going to be a longer season this time because it's actually a longer NFL season. So we're going harder than ever before overall. So I'm super excited. We'll talk about that at the end of the podcast. But for right now, we teased it last week, and we wanted to bring it up again, all right? We have been, for this entire offseason, building up to the Virtual Ball Boys Football League Season 2. We've drafted the players. We are still in the midst of statting the teams, and we are getting ready for kickoff later in September, and we are super, super duper excited about it. But we have to test things out, all right? Because we established some new rules with the rule meister himself, Walsh, and we want to make sure that everything is that we know how to handle some new situations. It's not a lot of changes, but it's enough where we do have to try it out. So we are going to pit once again. It's the annual. It's like the. It's like the. Matt, have you ever heard of the phrase the Snoopy Bowl?
I've not.
So the Snoopy Bowl is what used to be referred to as the annual preseason matchup between the Giants and Jets, and that was big. It was called the Snoopy Bowl because
MetLife.
because of MetLife Stadium.
Okay.
So This is basically our Snoopy Bowl. It's the two local hosts that are here all the time, going up against each other in a meaningless matchup that won't mean anything. But it's our characters, and it will be a lot of fun to showcase as much as possible. So yeah, do we want to rehash what our teams are, starting with the Golden Griffins?
Sure. So my Golden Griffins, colors maroon and gold, of course. My quarterback is Rad from OKKO. My running backs are Little Kato from Final Space and Kane from the Owl House. My wide receivers are Todd Chavez from BoJack Horseman, Tuca from Tuca and Birdie, and Kipo from Kipo and the Age of the Wonder Beats. My offensive line is Alphonse from Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood and Mabe from Wolf Walkers. My defense, Katra from She-Ra, Beast from Beauty and the Beast, of course his beastly form, not the boring human form, and Sully from Monsters Incorporated. My kicker is Leela from Futurama.
There you go. As for my team, the New York Bozos comprise of the quarterback, Audrey Redheart from Wondersong, the running backs, Astrobots from Astro's Playroom, and Turnip Boy from Turnip Boy commits tax evasion.
I forgot about that fucking game name.
It's the best.
Sorry for interrupting.
Wide receivers consist of Max Caulfield from Life is Strange, Kim Kitsuragi from Disco Elysium, and V from Bug Fables. Offensive line, we have a change. All right, William Blackmore had to go back home. All right, his little Russian nesting doll shtick is not going to work here. All right, instead we need another hefty boy. Someone who's going to protect us with his mind. Helmut Fulbear, one of the Psychic Six from Psychonauts 2, is going to replace him, along with Tall Jared, of course. And then defense, Fury Bowser from Bowser's Fury, Glottis from Grim Fandango, and Mama Meowin from Bug Snacks. And last but not least, the kicker is Chicory from Chicory, A Colorful Tale. And once again, that's not the main character. It's just an important character in the game. So let's do it. I mean, we actually have to jump over to the our other channel that has the dice parser in it.
Yep.
So we had to prepare for that.
Should I explain what the rules are?
Yes, hit us up with that while I set everything up.
So we have 3 stats for each player, and then they all kind of combine them to team stats. We have an offense, we have a defense, and we have a ball handling stat. We will play 4 quarters total. Each quarter will have 3 play rolls. So each team ends up going 6 times per game. Is how that ends up going. Team 1 will always play on offense. Team 2 will always be defense to start out. And both teams are going to roll a d20, team 1 offense versus team 2's defense. If the offense score is higher, they get a little advantage in the next round. If the offense and defense score equal, then there's no advantage or disadvantage. If the offense score is less than the defense, then they get then the offense gets a disadvantage. At this point, and this is the big change that we made from last year to this year, the team can decide, and by the team I mean Chris or I, will decide whether or not to go for a touchdown or to go for a field goal. So for the touchdown, the team will make a ball handling roll based on the team stat, and if they were higher in the first one, they get advantage. I think I already explained this, but they get advantage if they were higher in the first one. It's equal. If it was equal, and then they get a disadvantage if they rolled less. And if the offense is higher, they get a touchdown. They can choose to kick or run in for extra points. And for field goals, our initial score determines the DC that you have to beat. So if the offense scored higher, you have to be a DC of 10. If the offense scored equal, it's a DC 13. And then if they scored less, it's a DC of 15. So that will be worth 3 points as always.
All right.
I think I explained that about as fast as I could have.
Yeah. It's I think that works out. Do we remember who was the home team last time?
You were always the home. I don't remember between us. You were always the home teams.
I was the home team. Do you want to switch it up this year?
I don't care because we play the same teams the same number of times anyway.
That's true. All right.
Let's keep that the same, but I'll take home team right now.
All right. It's, especially since you're in like the home position in our document here.
Yeah.
I feel like that makes sense that you're the home team. Now I do want to throw in another curveball here.
All right.
Because as you know, this year we're throwing in the fact that they are not being played at normal football stadiums.
That is true.
We're playing in different video game worlds. For this, we're playing in the world of Dr. Mario. Okay, so just be prepared.
Oh, God. Okay.
Fuck up some pills. All right. just the sheer disappointment.
We have introduced steroids into the Virtual Ball Boys Football League.
I didn't even think of that. It's so good. All right. Let's do it. All right. Well, I don't know. Here's the thing. I don't think they were actually injecting it. I was more picturing it as pills falling from the sky and them having to dodge it in their football. That's how I see it anyway.
All right.
But it's our interpretation. However you want to approach this. All right. You get us going.
Strange
You're on
interpretations,
offense.
apparently. All right. My first offensive roll. By the way, my stats are my total overall are -3 on offense, +3 defense. 0 ball handling.
Yes, and mine is -8 on offense, 9 on defense, and -1 ball handling.
That's going to start off with a dirty 1.
A dirty 1, all right. And I will counter that with a dirty 20.
All right, well, we're going to... God damn it. All right.
So you... Are you going to go for a field goal or are you going to try for a touchdown?
I am going to... Let's do a field goal just to demonstrate what a field goal is.
Sure.
So I have to beat a 15 here, but I can use Leela's +5 in ball handling to make this check. She does not make it, however. Her boots were made for walking, apparently not kicking.
Okay. Interesting. So that's a quick way to end this drive. I like it though.
Yep.
All right. So now I'm up. This is the first drive for us with the second drive of the first quarter. Here we go. -8. Fuck me in the ass. Okay, here we go. -4
versus a 22.
Fuck yeah. Okay, I'm also going for a field goal here.
Okay.
I have to be. We have like we said, have to be a 15. I'm going with Chicory's 4. So not as good of an advantage. Oh, but she
you did it.
Squeaks it in. Nice. Yeah. All right, so that is 3-0.
All right.
Very nice. All right, you're up. End of the first quarter.
Of the first quarter, we're going to put an offense stat of 7.
Okay. And that is a 12.
All right. So we're actually I'm going to try for a touchdown. I do have disadvantage.
Yes, that works out.
But I'm going to check my ball handling with a touchdown. Oh, there's a nat 20 in there, but I have to count the 10.
Okay.
Against your defense score, which is a 19.
19. Sorry.
So no touchdown. It is 3-0 bozos after the first quarter.
Yeah. All right. Well, these games are going a lot quicker now that we have a field goal.
Yeah.
Already through the first quarter. All right. Second quarter. I start things off. 1d20 -8 is what we start out here, and that is a that's actually a nat 20.
That is a nat 20. Mine's a dirty 20, but I believe that does mean that you automatically score.
Yes, that does. That means I got a touchdown.
Yep.
All right, so now to describe this fucking situation. Oh boy, I didn't even think of any of these. All right. Audrey is going to go back to pass. Oh, we didn't decide on balls. All right, you know what? Fuck it. We're throwing pills. Audrey's going to throw a pill down the field and it's going to be hauled in by Max Caulfield, who's going to get tackled right before the goal line. But then time goes backwards for a quick second, and she's actually moves in a different direction enough to catch the football and avoid the defender, and then go into the touchdown. She has time travel abilities. You don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I didn't know, like, you weren't saying anything, so I was just like, is he confused?
No, you were just
taking it in.
You were being a wordsmith, so.
There you go, taking it in. All right, and then we're gonna try to kick it in. This is just 10 now, right? For extra
this
point?
Is just 10. Yep, extra point
Beating
is 10.
Okay, and she's good.
All right.
So it is 10-0. Golden Griffins. Let's see how you guys do.
Can we do anything? That's gonna be a 16.
That's
beatable.
Good. That is indeed beatable. That's 20. So that's an automatic end to the drive.
Brad! Come on!
What? Tell me about that. We haven't been doing. Tell me about your failure here. Describe your failure.
All right, so Rad is going to line up for the quarterback. He's got his target is Todd, and Todd is supposed to be standing in one place, but he's standing in another place, and he's behind Fury Bowser, and Rad doesn't see that. Now, if Rad actually threw the ball above Fury Bowser, Todd would have caught it, but Rad didn't see him there because there was some miscommunication.
Oh. Just broken microphones in the Dr. Mario world, you know?
He throws the pill into, like, Fury Bowser's knee, and it just kind of sticks there in the goop.
Oh. All right, sounds good. So that's the end of that drive. All right, this is the end of the first half. Here I go to see if I can run up the score here a bit. But that's a 4 to start things off.
Ooh. And that's a 21.
All right. Well, I don't want to. I don't want to be that guy. So I'm going to kick a field goal for here. See what happens. Hope to surpass the 15 threshold. No. Chicory, first missed kick of the day, goes wide right. It was a far kick, of course. So can't all go in.
Nope.
All right, so end of the first half already. Tell me your thoughts about how this process is going, just from a developmental point of view.
Well, I do see that absurdly high defensive scores are still not fun to play against.
But at least you have the opportunity with the field goals, at least, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of the downswing for that team was luck this past time.
True. All right, shall we keep going?
Let's do it.
All right. That's gonna be an 8.
Okay, that's a 16.
Poop. I gotta try for a touchdown. I gotta try to keep up, but that's gonna be a 5.
Okay. Yeah, it's 20.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Big ouch.
Big ouchies. All right. All right. Second drive of the third quarter here. Let's see what -8 does. That is a 7.
All right. And that's a 21.
Okay. All right. Let's have some fun. I'll go for it, even though I shouldn't probably. It is disadvantage. So that's a 2.
And that is a 7.
All right. Yeah, so my attempt here, let's say Turnip Boy has the pill and is about to try to, run it down the field a little bit, but then is handed a medical bill by Dr. Mario and spends the time ripping up that medical bill instead of running in for the touchdown, and the drive ends.
Whoops.
So there you go. Turnip Boy likes destroying paper. just to clue you in there. All right. Let's see if you can turn this around.
End of the third.
End of the third quarter.
5. God damn it.
As a 24.
I want to score.
Just go for it. Go for it. You can try.
That's a 12.
There's hope yet. That's a 17. And I think that means that I would win regardless now. But
Kane
fourth quarter.
Kane just gets stepped on by Galatas.
Yeah, I mean it's so definitely defensive heavy teams are tough to play. But I will say this, we have had we've statted 3 teams thus far and none of them are defensive heavy.
Right.
I'm curious as to how much that changes as we continue statting. But we could definitely talk about it if we want to make any changes after we do the fourth quarter.
Yes, we can.
Let's do this is the start for my drive here. That is a 6
against my 19.
Okay. Yeah, fuck it. Do it again. I like going for it. That is a nat 20, but that can't work. That's all right. So it's up against an 8.
That's 12.
That's close.
So stop.
Yeah, that is a stop. Astrobot this time was given the pill, but then unfortunately runs into the back of tall Jared, and it's a butt fumble, but alligator version.
All right.
There you go. All right, you try to get some points on the board here.
Yeah, we'll try. Not like that. Why do I get only good rolls on defense?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I feel like a lot of this is luck.
Dice Parser being stupid.
Dice Parser really is not liking your team on offense.
We're gonna need to have a conversation on whether or not Dice Parser can still be our unofficial official sponsor.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
We're not actually sponsored, but and that's a nat 20 I can't use. But that's an 18 though. Ooh.
All right. Let's see if we could pull it out here. That is a dirty 20. So the game ends.
My Golden Griffins
10-0
are rusty. You can still go one more time if you want.
Oh, that's true. I forgot. I forgot that I could keep going with this. All right, hold on. One more time. That's a 0.
Ooh. I'll probably get a nat 20 with this roll.
Imagine.
19.
Still though. All right. I'll go disadvantage here. -6
and a 15. Chris, we did it. We got through an entire game without rolling a nat 1.
Oh wow, really? I didn't even think about that. Wow. Yeah, the nat. Did we explain that one earlier?
I did not. So in any game, if a single player, in that case me or Chris, rolls 3 nat 1s for one team, then a random player will go out with an injury, and their stats will be removed from the team.
Yeah, it throws a curveball into a lot of stats stuff.
With field goals this time, I think that those numbers will go down. The number of nat 1s will go down overall, because we'll have less opportunities to roll nat 1s. Yeah,
that's true. That could be a factor. What's your feeling right now? I mean, I know that was a hard game for the less defensive team,
right?
But do you think that that's going to be a theme, or do you think that this was just a case of bad luck?
I had unbelievably shit luck that game.
I think so too. I don't think it was the stat.
No. 9 might be a little bit high for defenses, but I also don't think any of the teams that we're looking at are going to have defense stats that high, because they constructed their teams a lot differently than we did. Where we had, with our 2 offensive linemen and 3 defensive people, we really, I think, hammered that more than other managers would have.
100%. Yeah, I think that was a big priority for for us because we were definitely kind of scarred from last year watching Mansfield roll through everyone because of its high defensive stat. And so, yeah, I definitely think that does play a factor into it, the way that people decided to maybe not follow a similar format that we did. But I still think and we won't spoil any of the stats just yet, just because we're not done with them. But I think that there's a few teams that I could point out certainly that I think are going to end up being more defensive than we think. But right now, when we were going through the initial stat, which again we have like 3 teams done thus far, it seems like it's leaning more towards being offensive and ball handling heavy, and defense tanking big time.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. I'm definitely curious as to how it kind of ends up. I think I do like this system. I like the ability to kind of like, all right, we have the ability for people who do not have a strong offensive stat to try to at least kick a field goal, and they don't have to roll against a defense. They don't have to worry about that, and that could be their method of getting out of the hole. Because technically speaking, I mean, you ended up going for touchdowns each of those times.
True.
But I would be curious if you went for field goals, if things would be a little bit different.
Yeah, let me check. Let me check all of like the first 1d20 rolls, because those would have been my ball handling checks, and see what I would have gotten.
Yeah.
So the nat 20 would have made it. 19 would have made it.
Yeah.
7 would not have made it.
Yeah. But that would have at least made it 10-6.
Yeah. See if there's another. 10 with the 5 would have made it, yeah.
So 10-9.
10-9, yeah.
So
even with bad luck, me going for a field goal is still possible.
Yeah, I think it brings it a lot closer. So I think it's ultimately for us, I mean, because we're going to be the ones playing these teams, it would be for us to kind of like decide what the strategy is. Because in theory, when you're down 2 scores, you're like, well, I have to just go for it each time. But the odds of getting the field goal are probably higher, especially if you're going up against a heavier defensive team.
Yeah.
So then it might just be like, all right, let's just try to rack up as many field goals as possible and just hope that my defense comes through and stops that team from scoring, because like my team had such a shit offensive stat that you probably could have stopped me a bunch, and you did. I only scored twice ultimately. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I'm super excited to see how it all kind of comes together. So we're only like 28 minutes into this recording.
Yeah,
and I'm almost done. But let's talk a little NFL. All right,
let's do it.
Just surface NFL stuff. All right. I want to hear from you, man. You going into this season, what is the thing you're most looking forward to for this season?
I have to say the Bears, because
Mm-hmm.
the new excitement around Justin Fields is electric in Chicago, as is the equally strong what the fuck are you doing, Matt Nagy, not starting Justin Fields week 1 sentiment that's coming around.
Oh yeah, that's a big thing right now.
Yeah, I'm fine with it, I guess, solely because it's the Rams we're facing week 1.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's I'm excited. I'm excited for Fields to take over. I'm excited to see what the offense can do, and I think that the Bears can be a consistent team chaos team like they were at the start of last year, and not just what the hell is happening.
Right, yeah. I think that it's going to be interesting. I think all the quarterback stuff is really what I'm most interested in with the Justin Fields stuff. You know, I'm sure that I think it really is the Bears trying to set up for this idea of, you know, they're setting up Andy Dalton to fail, because he's going to go up against the Rams, and especially behind that offensive line, which has not performed well as of late. I don't know how well he's going to perform in that circumstance.
Yeah,
and I feel like I think that we're like 2 weeks out. Right? Yeah, we're probably 2 weeks out from hearing. Right before the week 2 game against the Bengals, Justin Fields is now our starting quarterback. Like, I can totally see them pull that same shit that the Chargers did last year.
And that's the Chargers, to be fair, had a punctured lung that started Herbert.
That's true. And also, and then Anthony Lynn was like gun-ho about starting Tyrod Taylor still, and then backtrack on that.
Yeah. So, the way that I see it is like the rest of the start of the Bears season is really favorable. Honestly, I think the Browns are like the only like road bump, but Browns aren't as scary as the Vikings are or the Rams are. So, I'm actually like I am okay with the thought of Dalton starting first, and it's also definitely it's obviously the safer option, and I get where they're coming from, because if you start Dalton and Dalton sucks, which he will against the Rams, then you can switch. Then you can switch to Fields, and that makes sense. Switching from the veteran to the rookie at some point. You cannot start a rookie and switch to the veteran, and then expect that rookie to not have something like psychological about it.
Sure, 100%.
Yeah, like the Dolphins did that. It felt like they kept doing that with Tua and Fitzmagic.
Mm-hmm.
Well, more with Fitzmagic and Rosen, but Rosen doesn't count that much.
Yeah. I think that whole it is wild right now, because we're hearing rumors about the Dolphins right now trying to trade for Deshaun Watson, which is just incredibly disappointing.
Asinine. I lose all respect for the Dolphins if they make that trade.
Yeah. And it's, but like I think about, I said last episode, I said how excited I am to see Tua hopefully prove everyone wrong and get back to what he was back in college. And I mean, he had his moments last year, and I think that he could bring his game to the next level. I think about. I think about all the rookie quarterbacks. Obviously Trevor Lawrence is going to be interesting to watch. That whole operation down there with Urban Meyer at the helm is going to be fascinating. How is Zach Wilson going to hold up in his first few games? How is Mac Jones, who was declared the starting quarterback and they released Cam Newton, like how is he going to hold up in his early starts?
Yeah.
The only question really right now, outside of Justin Fields and the Bears situation. I'm very curious about the 49ers too. Like we still do not know for sure if it's going to be Garoppolo or Lance. We know that Lance has a chip in his finger, which I get when they say chip, do you mean like the bone? Like a bone chip?
No, because that sounds graphic.
Like, yeah, I don't know. Like I hear like a chip in your shoulder. I hear like chip other places, but
yeah, Trey will be okay. Trey Lance will be okay.
Yeah,
but I think that I think that holding him out of practice is definitely going to lead to Garoppolo week 1.
I think it might be that, like, I don't know. My bold prediction is that I think that all 5 rookie quarterbacks are going to be starting week 2.
That's a pretty good prediction. I think that's good money.
Because I think that Andy Dalton's going to get blown up in the Sunday Night Football game, and then who do the 49ers play week 1? This shit I would have had memorized by now, but I just been completely out of it.
Lions.
Okay, well, maybe Garoppolo might be okay against them, but I think that there could be like the money is down where, like, look, if Trey Lance didn't have the injury, he would be our starting quarterback right now.
Yeah.
But granted, I don't know that Jimmy G had his like press conference that was like he was asked if he knows who the starting quarterback is, and he had like the biggest like Chester Cat smile on his face of like kind of not saying who it was, but he kind of knew, and that makes me think that he might be the starter if he's that happy about it. But I don't know. I guess it could be interesting to see. And you know what? And of course, what's going down right now in New Orleans is so fucking horrible and tragic, and fuck the government for not putting in better infrastructure to have those fucking electric lines go down for the entire city. Holy shit. But in the football realm of things, we know that the New Orleans Saints technically have a home game, but Sean Payne today announced that the Saints are going to be playing out of somewhere else for a month. Yeah. And I'm curious about how that whole situation is going to work out, like where they're going to go.
Which ends up making it so that they have the home game against the Packers, then they have a home game against the Giants, I think, week 4. They don't have another home game until after their week 8 bye, or their week 7 bye.
My God. So the New Orleans is not going to get
football until week 8 or 9. Yeah.
Which, I mean, given the circumstances, probably for the best.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But that is really a shame, though. That you have to wait that long, especially for a city that loves its football as much as New Orleans does. Yeah, wild. But I can't wait for this season. I find there's so much about like this season that's so weird, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's because we're still in the pandemic and that just makes it all feel weird. I don't know if it's the fact that like, I don't know, Ryan Fitzpatrick is on his 10th or 11th team. I don't know. Something about this season just is very like interesting and unique, and I'm excited to see kind of how it unfolds. Who do you think's winning the NFC East?
Oh fuck.
Yeah, I'm just gonna throw it out there.
Yeah, I mean, probably the Cowboys.
Because
I think
we'll definitely do division predictions next week, but I just want to get early ideas.
Yeah, if the offense is healthy, I think that Dallas's top tier offense will outshine Washington's top tier defense. Mm-hmm. In the end, and because Washington will definitely be playing better teams than Dallas.
Yeah.
So that's part of it too. But I would also love to see Washington win. Believe me.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's a mixed bag, because I feel like if you gave it, and we talked about this last year, early last year, when Dak Prescott was about to throw for 8,000 yards in a year, where he had the high flying offense that he did for the Cowboys, but their defense was sinking them. And then you had Washington that has the really good defense. Washington defense looks even better this year. Cowboys offense looks pretty good. If only those two teams could combine and create one big super team, that would be a Super Bowl team at that point.
The Washington the Washingtonless Foot Boys.
The Washingtonless
Last, like Dallas.
Oh, I see. Washing less.
Washing less foot boys.
You wash less as a foot boy. Sounds very gross. I think it's like the big question is like, will the offense be good enough for them to match their defense? And that's the Washington thing. But in the Cowboys, I think is the defense going to be able to play well enough to match the offense? Because that's always the thing with the Cowboys, is that like they're fucking it kind of changes, but I feel like consistently it's like their defense never can step up to compete, to have the offense consistently be good. And then you also have the Ezekiel Elliott. Is he going to be the player that he used to be? Like he was not that last year for sure.
Fucking love Terry McLaurin.
Yeah, you're a Terry McLaurin fan for Washington.
I'm a big Terry McLaurin fan.
Good. I'm happy for you. I mean, how much depth does Washington's receiver corps even have? Because I feel like it's Terry McLaurin and no one else.
Curtis Samuel, but Curtis Samuel is dealing with injury stuff right now.
Oh, but that was like a big signing for them earlier.
Yeah, and they also got Logan Thomas, who's a pretty serviceable tight end.
Oh yeah, he's bounced around. He was with Carolina at one point, right?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah. I see. Oh, they have Adam Humphries on on the squad too.
So, Chris, do you want to hear my fucking dynasty team and how broken it is?
Oh yeah, hit me with it. Yeah.
All right. So my week 1 starting lineup is Lamar Jackson, DeAndre Hopkins, Allen Robinson, Calvin Ridley, Christian McCaffrey, David Montgomery, Mark Andrews, Darrell Henderson.
Sounds like a fucking solid squad.
my point total week 1 is 134 projected points.
Fantastic. That's where you want it to be.
I also
actually finish what you were saying first.
Yeah, actually, I also just made a trade, and I'm going to sub him in. I made a trade for someone traded me Tyler Lockett for Trey Sermon.
Yes, you sent me that. Yes.
Yeah.
That was that. I think that's gonna work out for you big time. I just because I'm looking at the Washington football team right now. They kept Jared Patterson, who was the old time University of Buffalo running back.
Oh,
that kicked ass last year. I'm glad to see that he made it as an undrafted free agent.
Nice.
I mean, who knows if it will stay that way because it's very early on for us here.
And they got Gibson. They got McKissick.
Yeah, like it's very likely that by the time you hear this, the guy is not on the team. But I'm hoping that he is.
Yeah.
I also find, like, if in terms of divisions, I do find the AFC South very interesting too, because it's this idea of, can the Titans with a new offensive coordinator be what they were? Can the Colts with Carson Wentz be better than what they were with Phillip Rivers?
I disagree with that. I do not like the team other than the bottom feeders like Lions and Texans.
Mm-hmm.
The Colts are the team that I get the worst vibes from. Like a team that should be good,
but you don't think it's gonna happen.
I don't think the pieces are going to come together because so many of them are getting injured or on the COVID list because they're not fucking vaccinated.
Yep.
That's another thing. Cam Newton, like I will subscribe to the conspiracy theory that Cam Newton, and conspiracy theory I'm using facetiously, but that Cam Newton lost his starting job because he wasn't vaccinated.
Indirectly. There's a very good chance of that.
Yeah, because he did some like working out away from the facility and then had to wait 5 days before he could return. And that was 5 days he could have been working with the team, 5 days to prove that he still has what it takes. And Mac Jones got those 5 days with the ones, just him.
Yeah, that's a huge thing, and I think that we're not going to be. I don't know if we're going to hear about it now or later, but I do think that is a huge point of contention. I mean, clearly the Bills didn't do much about that on that front,
right.
With Mr. Cole Beasley, but other teams are going to consider it.
Yeah. They announced today Urban Meyer. The one good thing he's done as a coach so far is say that his that vaccination status he took into account when deciding his final roster.
Yeah, exactly. And
that's me shitting on Urban Meyer unnecessarily, but also
also fuck Urban Meyer.
Also kind of deserves it.
Yeah. But like even look at the Falcons, who are 100% vaccinated. Even they were 100% vaccinated before their cutdowns.
Yeah.
That's an organization that knows what they're fucking doing. Like it's nice to see that there is actually like some, reasonable organizations and reasonable teams and reasonable people that are trying to like, hey, we're still in the middle of a pandemic. Let's just try to, if we're going to try to pull this off, we're going to try to pull off the football season. Let's make sure that people are
doing the bare minimum to be safe.
Yes, exactly. And I was going to use the phrase "get the jab," and I fucking hate that phrase, but that's what it is, though.
Was that fucking I think it was the Saints preseason game, but it was like you had to show proof of your vaccination or get shot on site.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
And you could get a shot at the stadium, like a vaccine at the stadium, but the phrase "shot on sight" is fucking hilarious, and that headline writer knew exactly what he was doing.
Yeah, yeah, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. I'm just like skimming divisions at the moment.
Yeah.
NFC West. I feel like that we've talked about, you and I have already kind of said that. I think we both believe that the Rams are the best team in this division, but
yep.
I would not sleep on this 49ers team at all.
Oh no, not at all.
Like this is, and I think the big thing for me is getting Trent Williams. Like that, that was a huge fucking get for them, because that's an all-time great at offensive at left tackle. And I feel like that's good. That should be a factor.
Yeah, and as soon as Trey Lance takes over, that offense is going to be bonkers.
Yeah.
Raheem Mostert is one of my like later targets in redraft. He's lower for a lot of people because they think, oh, Trey Sermon's going to take over, or oh, Raheem's going to get injured. Which, yeah,
yeah, would
probably happen.
By the way, I forgot that Trent Williams was acquired last year.
Oh yeah.
Mid-season.
I was like, I thought that happened last year, but I didn't want to say
you were right to correct me. I'm so zoned out of this, so I'm bound to get shit wrong.
Gotta get your head in the game.
I know. Let's listen. Like, we got
what
1 week left. You know.
Wildcats. What team? Wildcats. What team? Wildcats.
That's
Wildcats.
But I still think that offensive line is gonna be really good. I think I think that the weapons are still gonna be good for the 49ers. The defense
Kittle,
is so good.
Debo, Ayuk.
Yeah, the front seven specifically for the defense is gonna be wild. I think that it's gonna be between those two. Even though the Seahawks, I know, should be in the running too. It's just
Seahawks always compete.
It's just so hard though, because they always seem like they have a Super Bowl roster in place, but then like all these issues come up, mainly the offensive line, but of course like just
all
other
these
things.
Fucking issues come up because Russ messes up one time, and then they say, "Oh, we got to run the ball the rest of the season," and then you lose the rest of the season.
Right.
Saying, Seattle.
Yeah, the decision making for Seattle is just ridiculous. Yeah, it's even Arizona should be like a decent team, but I don't think they're gonna come close to winning the division.
Oh no, no. They could. I could see them sneak in as a playoff team, but they're not winning the division.
Yeah, it should be interesting for sure.
Yeah. Obviously the other stud division is the AFC North. Lord,
yeah,
help the Bengals.
Lord help the Bengals. Yeah. Jamar Chase, is that working out for you guys for the Bengals? Is that
Nope.
Are all those drops in the preseason really making you feel good about passing on Penny Sewell? You know.
Well, Penny Sewell hasn't been that great in the preseason either.
Nah, true. But I rather have a rookie offensive lineman than a rookie wide receiver that we don't know if he's gonna end up succeeding or not. I hope he does.
Oh, me too.
But you know, it's just not great sign. But yeah, no, I mean, like, I think you can make an argument for any of the other teams in that division to win it all, or win the division at least. I think that there was a lot of questions surrounding the Steelers out of the gate, but I think that they've made enough. I still am not confident about this offensive line. I think their offensive line is a bunch of no-names, and that could probably be an issue. But
I love Najee, though.
Najee's good, and
I love Najee.
And that defense, I mean, we forget how insane that defense was not last year, but the year before.
Even last year.
But last year, definitely. But think about the year before, where it was Duck Hodges and Mason Rudolph, and they had to carry the team the entire way, and they were on the cusp of making it. And that was mainly because of how good that defense was. And last year, then that whole team went 11-0, and then completely fell apart at the end of the season. I I'm so fascinated to see how that team is going to kind of keep it together, because I think that they're one big like who the fuck knows. I think that they could go 13-4. They could also go 8-9, and I would not be surprised either way. But like I think the Ravens are. I still think the Ravens are good enough to be in the mix and win a lot of games. I think the Browns have not. I don't think that they've depleted all that much. I know that I know people have kind of pointed at like the defensive line depleting a little bit, but I just really love the offensive weapons on this team. I still like the offensive line overall, and I think that Clowney and Garrett as a combination are a force to be reckoned with, and I think you have a lot of really good rookies on that team too that could step up. So I like the Browns. But it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough to choose between if it's gonna be the Ravens or Browns to win in my camp, because I think the Steelers are gonna be fine. I don't know if they're gonna do enough to win the division personally yet. I need to see how that offensive line holds up.
Dan Campbell is currently trending on Twitter with the Twitter description saying, NFL fans discuss Detroit Lions head coach Dan Campbell's decision to release both of the team's kickers.
Oh, man. I mean, there's enough kickers being released today where you could find the one of your dreams, but...
I know, but...
I don't know if that's how it works, necessarily. I don't think that's the connection that you make there, Dan Campbell. Oh, boy. And the Houston Texans are a trash fire. Like, at least the Lions should be so happy right now because the Houston Texans exist.
Right.
That is, like, the Lions, no matter how pathetic and how terrible the Lions end up being this year, they're not going to be as bad as the Houston Texans.
The Texans.
Which just is going to end up being such a fucking, like, cold take when it's all said and done, I'm sure, but I feel pretty confident that
the Houston Texans are electing to go into the season with a 52-man roster.
Yeah.
By having Watson on the team and sitting him every game, you have a 52-man roster.
Yeah, I mean, it's just ridiculous. I'm still very disappointed in the fact of how long this is just fucking taking.
Yeah.
Just to get, like, it is so annoying sitting in this purgatory where the dude can't even go on into an exception list. Like,
yep.
at least just go on an exemption list, which is like, again, not what I would have liked to see happen, but it's the least that they can do at this point. Yeah, it's wild. Well, yeah, we procrastinated for enough for a half hour.
Yeah, I think that counts.
But
I want to do a quick shout out.
Sure.
John Boyce, writer, author of 17,776 and 20,020, is currently doing a series over on SB Nation called The History of the Atlanta Falcons. It is very good.
Yeah, I watched the first episode. I haven't watched the others yet, but yes, very good. I think my favorite part of the last one, I'm trying to remember, it had something to do with the coach, like throwing a temper tantrum, but but I'm trying to remember specifically.
I forget exactly too, but go watch it.
But go watch it. There's just so much. Oh, I think actually no. My favorite part was the one quarterback that they kept on starting, even though he was so fucking awful the entire time.
Yep.
I forget what his name was, but then he ended up doing something with Disney or something, or he ended up making like a big major kid centric right, operation.
Yeah, I forget what it was.
Yeah, there's a lot of good shit. There's a lot of good shit in there. Go watch it. I have to watch more of the episodes. But yeah, he's kicking ass. All right. What is the plan for season 3, ladies and gentlemen? What are we doing? Well, we have been doing every single football season from right before week 1 all the way through the end, the next week after the Super Bowl. We do weekly episodes, and we're going to once again be doing them we're going to see them every single Wednesday. We record them on Tuesday, upload them on Wednesday, and you should be expecting that every single week. In addition to that, we have been doing the VBFL, and you guys know that we've been building up to this point, and if you've been a avid listener or viewer, you know that that last year it was where we did the VBFL stuff on a Twitch stream, and then we'd come back the week of, and we would do a little bit of like a highlight package, tell you exactly what happened in those games, and tell you what the results were. This year, though, doing those recaps was as much as I enjoyed them and I enjoyed finding packaged music for them, I worry that people who want to really dive deep into this series is not going to be able to enjoy the full effects of the VFL and the magic and craziness that we have done. So, on top of the weekly episodes you're going to get, every once in a while, you're going to get an episode on Sundays, right as football is about to kick off at noon, and it's going to be probably every other Sunday starting September 26th, I want to say. And we're going to be doing every other week. You're going to see an episode that will be our Twitch live stream of that slate of games. That you, if you don't end up making it to the Twitch stream. And so that way, we are able to have on this one podcast stream that you're listening to on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, on Anchor.fm, wherever you're listening, you'll be able to both experience everything that we do with the VBFL and listen to everything that we do with the NFL. And I think it's going to work out a lot better. It's going to be maybe a lot more work for me, maybe less work. I spent like 2 hours on those recaps each week, so I'm hoping that this one is a lot I think ultimately I think that the game podcasts are going to be a lot easier for me personally, just because I think you will understand that it is a live product and not everything is going to be perfect about it.
Yeah.
So I think that's
you better understand.
Right. I think it's going to end up working out better as a product overall, that we get to have everything on this podcast stream. And don't worry, we are going to do the Twitch streams this year as well. We have 8 regular season Twitch streams planned, as well as 2 streams that will be dedicated to deciding the winner of the VBFL Season 2 planned for later in January. And I think that pretty much covers what we are going to be doing. Is there anything that I have maybe forgotten about anything that we are doing that's new?
I don't think so.
Yeah. I think we covered it all. Next week is Season 3, Episode 1, and that means we are going to be doing everything. We're going to be talking about the divisions. We're going to be talking about who we think is going to win each of those, pesky little awards that they give out before the Super Bowl. We'll talk about who we think is going to make the playoffs, who's going to win each division, and we're going to tell you who we think is going to win the Super Bowl. And we'll pick the games. It's back. The Team Chaos, the guarantees, all of it's back next week. I can't wait.
I'm ready. I'm ready to make some chaos, Chris.
Yes, I'm ready too. Do you, by any chance, have you thought about your picks yet?
The only thing that I have is my Super Bowl pick.
Okay, I don't have anything yet. I did a mock prediction like in mid-August, like just to be like, all right, let me just go through like the that like playoff bracket website that I've sent you before.
Yeah.
And went through, but I definitely want to do another. I want to go do another run through of it and see what happens. But yes, you'll get it all next week. Thank you all so much for listening, and we will see you for the 2021 season.
Good night and good ball. Virtual Ball Boys has been brought to you by Team Chaos Productions. Find us on Twitter at Virtual Ball Boys and find more of our work at Team Chaos Pods.